What I know about this is that it's written on white paper. I am confronting the psychiatrist who couldn't get that adoption's like the best thing ever. And why are you asking me if I felt different? And this isn't about that. It's about being assaulted. When she asked me, did you have a learning disability? I kind of lost it. And that's when the darkness started to come over. So I'm like, again, did you read the reports of assault? All these issues stem from assault and exposure. And your confusion shows me you're not really listening. So what they tried to do was say it was psychiatric, which I told my new doctor. You're going to do that like them, you're going to trigger me because it's the same behavioral. It's written in purple, which means mental abuse. Mental abuse is purple because I was in this. All right, sorry about that. Had to take a little break. Purple tells me I'm through red, trauma, drama, rama, anxiety. I mean, not really, but I got a hold of it and I'm trying to add one more color to it, red and purple, back and forth. Do you realize it's triggering me too, the two colors, especially maroon and gold because of college sports and what that implies. And you have some green here. Green is growth and growth is that school because that's what the principal kept saying. Did you know that teachers being rated now an evaluation system for their kids doing better? So the first month or so before they take they don't teach much because they want to have a base. Purple is mental abuse. But I really love now. Really trigger me because of somebody loving the color purple. This woman was super mentally abusive. Now that I understand what grooming someone is public, more like absolute terror. She's watching this paper pretty well. I'm gonna save this. This one gets saved. And every time I say we're talking savior complex. The diagnosis. That's Larry Labiak of the Chicago Federal. No, I don't want you to meet tonight. I'm not losing a name. You don't hear that. And if you didn't know me before injury, I think her. But if you knew me before injury, 2013, 14, 15, different. You need to accept and love the fact that we have difference. To now, holy crap, something's wrong. That's in a school system. Something's wrong with them. They're not acting the same. That's how we are mandated recorders of abuse. And this is a map of all the Chicago public libraries. Absolute thing that saved me. All right, when I lost numbers, I had no idea how many things I had to create, but I knew they had to be containers to hold things in. Realized, wait a minute, everything's rhyming. 7, heaven. 8, words better than great. 9 is time, and 10, wake up and do it again. What is going on? Materials is in a lesson plan. And a rubric. The difficulty, this is what the parents in the 4th grade writing curriculum class couldn't handle. Because they weren't there, so they didn't know how to get the points. They couldn't do the work for their kids, basically. That's what happened. Thanks, Ivy. Ivy agrees. Oh my goodness. Seriously. What am I supposed to do with this information? I no longer need it for advocacy. You have the internet. But what happens with somebody who doesn't know the internet?
Alright, and I think this might be the first thing I made as a filter, so you can kind of read it, the one and only, handmade with glitter. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know, but I saved it for something. So you know what, we're going to take a picture of it, and I think that's it. This was me making sure I didn't lose my name. So I did touch. That's how we got the start smart. It's important. I don't want it to get wet. Many things have been destroyed from water damage. I'll explain how that happened. Anyway, this is the fundraiser, a buck for a truck, supporting Mr. Baker, who has helped me with many things. He doesn't know he's helping me as I explain, but that's the point. As he's like, what? I don't get it. He forces me to explain in a safe place. That's the difference. I've also heard my voice in unsafe spaces, and that's my body absolutely saying no way. It's happened a lot of times with people. I didn't really know if they were trustworthy or not, but their behavior was off, and it becomes very clear. You pull back a little bit and see what happens. And
I had to make a decision. Am I going to be able to go and be the emergency contact for this child whose one parent is there and another parent who's not? But they had to do a photo. I said, oh my goodness, and in the future, look at that. It doesn't even have the year on it. They changed the badges. Or maybe this is an emergency situation. Oh, the ER. So it's a little bit different. But these are the dates. And yeah, I said, fine. Now this is the first words that bubbled up, and that's Ivy, my cat. Don't forget, Ivy is roar. I couldn't speak, so I heard and her that's why voice. I say we're gonna elevate animals, because without them, I would never have my house. You never had to come into my house. Because I said, why don't you do month to month if you're not sure? Why would you bring you and your cat later buying chunky furniture as you're getting ready to move out into a home? Because for the first time, I decided not to be families asking me, why aren't we moving? So I just found this magazine on farms I'm about to recycle, as I also look at this magazine on pain I haven't been able to read. So this is newer. This is also partner. Anyway, I'm ready to get rid of it. Yeah, why aren't we kindergarten teachers? I'm curious. She took off from that. Why don't you help others and tell me what that you were on the list to testify against our students with special needs, girl. Talking about Anyway, I'm going through it, and look at this. This is hilarious. Peaches. So in my storytelling, Peaches is not a butt. It's a person. And anytime she pops I'm reminded of this person. Somebody said to me, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "What? What are you sorry about?" And this apology, this concept of I'm sorry and apology is just on replay. Encountered them, and they acted like they had no idea what was going on. For how many years in that school? Elevate different, individualized trauma, indescribable trauma. Because when you can describe it, that's the basis of everything in a female entrepreneur. Because quite frankly, I didn't know. I was so impressed with her, and I thought, wow, I could do that too. Relationship between siblings, that's brothers, sisters, and then to their parents, fathers, mothers, and how they receive. She gave me the phrase once. And a final curriculum in 3 parts, and that gets us to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Well, in the next elevate difference, so she understood. And it's an effective part of a methodology I'm creating because of this company.
Yes, it is. I record my voice because it is important. Thank you. I meant to say that earlier. Sorry about that.
No, I don't mind. I always mind to say that in my notes as well.
Thank you. That's an account.
So I found this today, and here is the date that it was created, and I'm going to listen to it. I capture all PTSD in film to put away PTSD created by, well, these threats used with film, and also film is very triggering in general. Why? Because it's so, real. I avoid it. And maybe I'm just sensitive to it, but when somebody knows your triggers, they can absolutely purposely trigger you. It was clear to me that you using the board as the internet and learning things.
This is super triggering because, like I just said, it's juries. Normal people would have gotten this instantly. You're injured at work.
2016 and 18, I believe. Yes, I went there to find a curriculum.
Okay, so this is super duper triggering because, like I just said, it's juries.
Today's Thursday, December 28th, and I caught it. I heard it for the first time. I hear my voice. I repeated this. Always record a first time.
You're injured at work, and they what with the incident reports, and they did what to kids with special. I don't understand what's going on. He's a real person, and everything. That's incredibly realistic. I wouldn't even have noticed. If you didn't know that, does that give you a different experience? That's why we talk about movies. We watch the same thing and get a different thing from it. That's how you open up. Movies are great conversation starters.
That's contrast. The American
black and white named appropriately for our race relations. So let's do it through education, because clearly I noticed a disparity.
Lifted, made it into art as it should have been. Never ever doing it one way, only now and then. Anyway, let's move on. Lesson 2. You gotta put these things together. So, travel with art. And the next combination is a menu and packaging. That's Michigan, because you can get a degree in packaging. All right, another video, which means another day. So the next podcast is just going to be the videos from today. Well, yesterday there should be 3 to 4. I will never post a video film on another day. So the next podcast is just going to be the videos from today. I will never post a video film on. Oh my God, it's so loud. Okay, I gotta go. But now we know that's Chicago, and if you get the chance to go, just remember big shoulders. City. That's why. Doesn't rhyme. Duty. Okay. The previous connote. Oh my God. The previous post connects to this. The artist, just an artist friend. We don't really chat on WhatsApp. So I'm gonna remove it, delete it, but also comment that my supportive artist is because of the person in the previous post. Connect. I'm understanding the behaviors that I have, which I never really fully understood, but thought I was stuck in them forever. Why do you keep contacting me? And then this, I thought we were friends. No, we're not. Let me be very clear. Why I define friendship in a certain way is because of you. And if that's what you thought, then you must treat your friends like crap. The behavior is actually to prepare myself to write this letter. Since it's a behavior I found over again, 100% predatory. It's all about optics. And the person who shared the word optics with me, well, she works at Kohl's, no longer works there. The company had to say, we fired them, 2 people, because of restructuring, when that wasn't true. Why would they lie? The question is, why are you lying? That's the most important bit. In this place, the vote doesn't matter. So I tore up a sticker, which I never do, and this tells me, oh my God, it's going away. Finally. All right, now images of movies, because, well, they remind me of stuff. Just like you see something, you think of something. This story is all about association, symbols, and how the brain and body will remove trauma. So this was to get days of the week back, and I just need to break up the space. So we use yellow sticky notes. Yellow tells me that that's Northwestern Memorial Hospital asking me, did I ever feel different? Then Who else asked me that? Oh yeah, CPS, the lawyers during this mediation, which I have the date, or at least around the date, because I grabbed one of the union magazines. I need to start documenting this because I'm losing numbers. One day I'll recover because I'm not going to give up on it. When that day comes, and I'm going to organize everything in my office. It's a huge pile of mess because it's broken up. I had to the adrenaline go to 100 without me even doing anything. Just you see something, and I'm going to organize everything in my office. Anyway, we're throwing this away now, finally. So the traditions a family makes are either ones you continue and you pass on down through the generations and do every year. One of the traditions is this thing called glog, I think. I don't know. They've been using this alcoholic drink year after year for how many years, who knows. But this is a tradition, so you respect it. I guess it's North Norwegian. Honestly, I forgot a lot of that. I was really holding on to these stories until I realized, you know what? I don't have to anymore. These traditions. That's why people that have these stories that can link family traditions is kind of important. And that's why I was trying to share that with someone over and over. Why don't you ask her to cook something with you so it can become a family tradition that you make the same. That since you like the gravy so much and you talk about this gravy 5 times, why don't you ask her to make it with you and then you can remember it? And now I'm stuck in these loop-de-loops too? Yeah, I don't think so. This is the removal of triggers as I come across them. I'm just going to use what I previously posted since those were the notes created. All right. Now I'm going to go listen for things and find my poetry in my office and hopefully, well, start describing this methodology and put this away because there's a couple things I'd like to do. I like to write about all the things that helped and trauma, at least to me. It's individualized, I guess. But what if you could expose people to the things that I was exposed to, like art, music, history, just a bunch of stuff. People quietly sitting with you and you having to focus on them, even though it's very hard to sit with older. It can be mind-numbing, but that's part of it. So that's why I tried to share. I know it's kind of a sad thing to share with people. But the problem was, or is I would never have come across it unless this person wanted to have a wedding. And they wanted to have a wedding because they couldn't dump me in the 4.5 year. 4.5 years, 4.5 years. Assaulted on 4 or 5, and the last wedding I was in. The wedding of the century and how I did things differently. So again, you don't have to fight back. You can just do things the opposite and not associate with what you do not respect, what you do not want to associate with, what is definitely not you. Thank you. All right, this is the first time I've broken a sweat because chronic pain tends to dominate. But that's why you have to be really clever with your own endocrine system. The more you know about how you work, the more successful you can be. Here are some really great real-life meaningful examples coming. Do you see this? Do you see how this works? Like I told you, these words seem to hurt, so I reversed it. Traversed width. Height is width. Length and height too. Whatever, I'll scale it all. Deep sea dive into abysses. You ain't got to hide, because I already know I'm a teacher. I went through it. 10 years worth. This is what I learned. The words. I remove. I ain't you ain't me. All right, we're our own people. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm still very much in education. I'm like I said, in the development of children. About kids. I'm still very much in education. I was very attached. Took years to create, but no, not
in your blatantly lying there. Their babies are taken away from them, so he can make profit from her breast milk. He wants her breast milk in your mouth. He doesn't want it in the babies.
A lot of people, including myself, found it very strange that when Harry's...
No, it's okay, she said.
And now let's turn it over. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to be removing every single trigger. Okay? This is the methodology. And the final step.
Phrasing
She hasn't invited them because they can
No, it's okay, she said.
blow her fake story out of the water because she's not a humanitarian and changes herself to whomever she wants to be attracted. I know this because somebody I knew, oh my goodness, dyed her hair differently to attract a man who liked blonde. This is also someone with psychological problems. So how can you do work when you don't have a voice? 10 years now? But I gained my voice back. They all know I'll be sharing my story and they're very supportive. Checked in with every single one of them.
Fashion. Lenore Taylor is a fashion designer from Winnipeg, Canada. He's been coming for 6 years.
Okay,
It's one of my
George.
favorite shows that I do because the energy of the show is just so remarkable. Right in my booth, I'm painting over top of the clothing. I'm making something that's memorable for people, and that's what coming to the One of a Kind show is all about.
Okay, I meant to do a video attaching that, but 9/11, that's an important date in U.S. history. It's also 911, our emergency number you call in case you are in need of emergency assistance. But 9/11, those were the first voices. Oh my gosh, I listened to them. So yes, early on. So there's a video on that. So I'm going to look for 30 seconds. Look for the England one with the ducks, because their feet don't get cold. I'm going to look for the one with Mars, the Martian, the botanist, because we're in the garden growing. That March through October, picking up trash, and that's what ended the physical issue. Constantly squatting. Okay.